Dr. Gregory Haughton here, three-time Olympic medalist and world champion in track and field. Thank you all for visiting this channel. If you like the content, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, do not hesitate. Just be generous and share. Recently, I did the female top 10 picks. And if you have not watched that video, I suggest that you go and take a look. It will give you the top 10 female athletes that you need to look out for. And it will give you a complete summary of my personal thoughts as to who may continue to dominate their event or who may fall off due to whatever reason it may be. Now, today we're going to talk about my top 10 selections in the men event. What we see last year in the Olympics, we want to know if some of these athletes will continue to dominate. Now, we're going to start out with Christian Coleman. And I know that many of us may say that it was ridiculous when Christian Coleman ended up getting that 2-year ban for missed drug tests. Now, one thing we know for sure is that if Coleman is fit and ready, that he will be a competitor. I think this 2-year time that he received will help him to be reinvigorated. I think he will be refocused. And I think he is going to look forward to competing on his home track. Now, with that being said, I think Coleman will be a force to be reckoned with. I think that he is the 2019 world champion, so he will actually get a bye going into the world championship in Eugene. So the United States of America will have the luxury to send 4 sprinters. And I think Coleman will be ready to compete. I think he has something to prove, not just to himself, but also to the rest of the world. The next person we're going to talk about is Rai Benjamin. If you don't know who Benjamin is, he is the second fastest man in the history of the 400 meters when he ran 46:17 in the 400 meter hurdles to finish second behind the current world record holder today, which is Karsten Warholm. And Benjamin is also the world silver medalist in the 2019 World Championship in Doha. He is a gold medalist in the men 4x400 meter relay, and he is one of those exceptional athletes because he can run the 200, he can run the 400, he can run the 400 hurdles. Many of you may not know that in 2013 at the World Youth Championship, he finished second behind Akeem Bloomfield when he competed in the Carifta Games for Antigua and Bermuda. And he wanted to represent the United States of America because he was born in New York. And he felt that it was time for him to represent his native country, the United States of America. And as a result of that, he is now the second fastest man in the history. I personally think that he is going to perform well. In fact, I think that he, more than anybody else, has the ability to become the world champion in Eugene, Oregon. I've oftentimes said that the American athletes will always perform great on their home court because they have the support and they have the resources. So my bet is going to be on Rai Benjamin. I think he is going to be the man to beat for 2022. I think he's going to be unstoppable. And if all goes well, it is also possible that he can become the next world record holder in the event. The next person we're going to look at is Yohan Blake. And many of you might think that Yohan Blake is too old for the game, but I was happy that he decided not to go into retirement and come back to compete because he is still fairly young. He will be 33 next December 26. So he is pretty much young enough to be competitive in the event. So for those who don't know Yohan Blake, he was the gold medalist in the World Athletic Championship and he was the youngest world champion ever in 2011. This was impressive because many people thought that Usain Bolt deliberately false started because he wanted Johan Blake to win that race. But I totally disagree. I think it was one of those unfortunate instances where he just reacted because he saw someone move, and it cost Usain Bolt that championship. Nonetheless, Johan Blake has solidified his greatness not just in the 100 meter but also in the 200 meter. If we look back at 2012 in the Olympic Games in London in the 100 and the 200 meter, Johan Blake finished second behind the legendary Usain Bolt, and he ran some impressive times. And his time of 9.75 and 19.44 in the 200 meter are the fastest 100 and 200 meter Olympic sprint history to not to win a gold medal. Now, we may say that once Usain Bolt was in the event that it would have been impossible, but nonetheless Johan Blake has demonstrated over the years that he can be a contender when he is fit, and the support that he's getting, I think he's going to put a whole lot in his physical and his mental preparation. So I will not write Johan Blake totally off. I think he still has more in him to give, and I think he will dig deep within himself to come up with something. How competitive will he be? We will just need to wait and see early season to see how things are going for Johan Blake. The next person we're going to look at is Andre De Grasse, and I don't know why, but it seemed like this young man has always been overlooked. He was competitive when he was an NCAA athlete. He was competitive when he came out of college, and he is competitive now. He is a 6-time Olympic medalist, and he is the reigning Olympic champion in the 200 meter, and he also won a silver in the 200 meter in the 2016 Olympic Games. He's Olympic bronze medalist, placing third in the 100 at both the 2016 and the 2020 Games. He is also a medalist in the 4x1 100 meter relay in 2016 and in 2020 for Canada. His resume is vast. He is the double Pan American champion. As I said before, he dominated the NCAA, winning the 100 and the 200 meters. So I don't know why this young man has been overlooked so many times. I think this time around he will be ready. I think he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And he is not just the 8th fastest man in the history of the 200 meter, but I think this is his opportunity to become the next world champion in the event. I would put my money on him. I hope he doesn't crack under pressure, but it doesn't seem like pressure can crack this young man. This young man seems to be always ready and willing to give his best performance. The next person we're going to look at today is Noah Lyles. I think that he had a very bad race for the Olympics. I think he was just a little bit too nervous for the event. It is said that he was not fully physically ready, and as a result of that, he just ran his poorest race in the final. Well, the good thing is that Noah is the 2019 world champion, which means that he too will get a bye into going into Eugene, and I think that he will be ready. It is said that he miscalculated his preparation, and as a result of that, he was not able to be at his best, and I think he will not make the same mistake twice. Now, Lyles holds a personal best in the 100 meter of 9.86, and his personal best in the 200 meter is 19.50. Pretty fast times. Now, I don't know if he's going to do the double. I think he's going to want to focus on defending his championship in the 200 meter because he has his work cut out for him for the 200 meter. So my bet is that the 200 meter is going to be extremely competitive if Noah Lyles is at his best. And I think that going into Eugene with the support of his family, the support of the fans, that he will be a force to be reckoned with. The next person that is on my list is Trevan Bromell. And yes, he was the first junior to break the 10-second barrier in the 100 meter with a time of 9.97 seconds. He is a family because he also went to Baylor University. He has run consistent 9.76. Yes, he is the 6th fastest man of all time, and he will definitely be a force to be reckoned with. He won the US Championship last year in the 100 meter. Unfortunately, he was not able to make the Olympic final, and I think this is going to be a motivational factor for him. Yes, it is true that he may lack a certain level of experience on the international level, but when it comes to performing at home, I think you can get the best of him. I think that he will be a major force in the 100 meter, and I think that he has the ability to be the next world champion in Eugene 2022. When we look at Bromell, he had a very good early season last year, but the ending of his season was not as great. However, the keynote is that he was still able to run a personal best in his last race of the season. He was able to run 9.76 in Kenya. Some people are saying that the time is not legitimate, but when I look at it with my own two eyes, to me the time is legitimate, and I think he will be a legitimate contender in the event. The next person that we will look at is Karsten Warholm. And yes, he's the Norwegian athlete who ran the world record in the 400 meter hurdles. I can tell you, when I saw that race, I thought I was dreaming for a minute, because I did not expect someone to run under 46 seconds in the 400 meter hurdles. He is still young. He ran 45.94 seconds, and he seems to be getting better and better with age. He's still young. He seems highly motivated. He has been able to win championships after championships, and I think that he will be a major contender. Will he be able to get the upper hand on Benjamin? I think just like in 2021 at the Olympic Games, that it was a very tough race until the end. But I think in this case, I think Benjamin might get the best of him. Now, at the end of the day, it can go either way. I think that he is good enough to win. But as I said, if I had to pick one winner, I would give Benjamin the advantage, because he is going to be performing at home. The other person we're going to look at is Enoch Adikok, which is the Nigerian sprinter. Yes, he is currently 21 years of age. He is the 2019 African Under-20 champion in the 100 meter. He is also an Olympic Games and Commonwealth Games finalist, which tells me that he is ready for the breakout. I think that he will perform well for 2022. I think that if he gets everything together, he will be a force to be reckoned with. So, what does it mean? Is it going to be an automatic bid for him? Will he automatically dominate the event? One of the downsides to Nigerian sprinters is that you normally don't see that level of consistency that most people expect of them. Now, without a doubt, Enoch has the ability to be great. He has the ability to be a world champion. Will he transcend? No one truly knows. It is really up to him to see his level of determination and his level of commitment. The other person we're going to talk about is Kirani James. Now, Kirani has demonstrated perfection early in his career. He used to win finals impressively. Most people don't understand how competitive the 400 meter really is, and as a result of that, it is very difficult for Kirani at this moment to win these races easily because of the competitive nature of the event and the athletes who are taking part in the event. My prediction is that he will be a force to be reckoned with come 2022. One of the things I like about Kirani is that he's very poised. He is not erratic. He put his races together, and when he puts that perfect race together, it always leads to a win. Now, one other thing I see with Kirani that tells me that he is ready to go is that he accepts dealing with pressure, and it shows that he is not afraid to give his best. He is still young. He is 29. He's at that ripe age where he still has a lot more to give. I am going to put my money on Kirani for the most part. I think that if he conserves his energy the right way through the rounds, that he will be a force to be reckoned with. So, what does this mean? I know that the 400 meter is going to be extremely competitive. We have Christopher Taylor, we have Akeem Bloomfield, we have Stephen Gardner. I am sure that if Van der Kerk is healthy, that he will put up a challenge. But at this point, I am not sure how healthy he can be because he has been struggling for a while with the same injury. Also, even though I have not gone into that, the Americans will represent well in the 400 meter. They will be coming to make a statement. So for Kirani James, it's not going to be easy. He has to put in the work. He has to stay focused. He has to run that perfect race in the semi-final and the final. And he has to conserve as much of his energy as possible if he is going to have a chance of becoming the next world champion in the 400 meter. Now the final person we're going to look at, and I wanted to throw this in the mix, is young Christopher Taylor. I think Christopher Taylor competed well for Jamaica as a youth. I think he is coming into his own right now. I think he will be a force to be reckoned with because the last Olympic Games he made the final. I think this gave him a confidence boost. I think he is learning the event rapidly. And when I interviewed him, I can tell you I was very impressed with his way of thinking. I think that he is going to continue to excel if he stays healthy. And I think that he will be a force to be reckoned with come 2022. These are just a few of my picks for now. I will be doing a few more of these picks. I want to hear your comments. I want to see your comments in the comment section. I want to know if you think I am on base or I am way off base. I look forward to your comments and your feedbacks. I am Dr. Gregory Haughton. And thank you all for listening. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so. I am Dr. Gregory Haughton. Have a blessed day.